Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. To follow us on Instagram, go to No Name Music Cast Podcast. To send us an email, it's nonamemusiccast@gmail.com. And to visit our website, go to nonamemusiccast.com. Now, on with the show. Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. My name's Tim, and this is
Joy.
And Joy sent me a message maybe 32 minutes ago describing exactly how this evening's record would go down. You are hearing the bit from after we press record and play. You didn't hear the first bit, but it was almost completely accurate.
Something. Joy sang a lot of words. Then we record a mildly related music podcast, I think. What's the descriptor? All right. Well, I have a bit of just one little piece of music news, but I'll let Tim do his first and then I'll take over.
Okay. So this isn't so much music news, but music service observation, if you will.
Okay.
Okay. So as many people know, I bought a new car. I bought a new Nissan Altima, and it's in green. Very striking green color with bronze wheels. I haven't posted any pictures on the internet yet because I haven't got my personal license plates on there, and I'm going to put it through the car wash when I do, and I'm going to do a whole photo shoot. And plus, it's freezing cold and it's been snowing a bit, so it's not a good time to do that. But there will be a big, as the kids say, hard launch for this new vehicle.
Of course.
As it's brand new, what you get in the US is when you buy a new car, most cars have Sirius XM pre-installed in the radio. Now, I've had that in the past. In fact, when I lived in England, I had an online subscription to Sirius for a while because there was a show in there I used to like. And they sent me an email saying, hey, you've got a free trial. And as we've discussed before, Sirius XM in the car sounds terrible. It's incredibly low bit rate. It sounds like a poor quality MP3, etc., etc. But they have a thing with their free trial where you can download their app and then you can get all of their stations and you can try it out. And I must admit, I did make the mistake of clicking on the link and setting up an account so I could download the app just to see what it was like. This is my report on the world of Sirius XM. So I sort of knew what I was getting involved with, but I was really hoping it was going to be significantly better.
Yeah.
So what you have is literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels. They have talk, they have comedy, they have music, they have sports, and they have Howard Stern if you're into that. But I'm just focusing on the music side. So they have all these stations. Some of them are genre stations like 70s on 7 and classic vinyl and classic rewind
8, 9.
and Hair Nation, 90s on 9, Sirius Hits 1, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And in the app, it lists them all out. And you can see before you decide to select which one you'd like to listen to, what is playing. And it's fair to say every single one of those genre stations and various decade stations and all that kind of stuff is playing the most predictable tosh I've ever heard.
And so I've talked on ad nauseum on this podcast. Charlie used to subscribe to it in his little Prius. And he would always listen to 70s on 7, 80s on 8, 90s on 9. Those were like the ones he would always have playing. It's the same 10. It's not even just the most predictable things. It's the same 10 songs, like 10 songs on repeat. Like I could put it on right now and tell you what 10 songs are going to play.
Yeah, it's no better than FM radio other than it doesn't have ads. Well, they say it doesn't have ads. It has ads because it has its own promo going, Sirius XM, we're the best in the world. Blah,
I
blah,
almost
blah.
think it's worse than FM radio because like I could literally predict which 10 songs, like it was the same ones. I thought it was worse.
Yeah, I did some research on it. Apparently, Deep Tracks has a very large library. And then John Mayer, of all people, has a station on there. And apparently, he programs it himself. And there is some great music that's played on there. And then you have things like the Metallica channel, Beatles channel, etc., which have a little bit wider range of channel. Yeah, which is sort of wider range of music within the constraints of how the channel works. But I mean, you're right. All the channels you want to listen to, 60s, 50s, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc., they have a playlist of 10 songs. I mean, Spotify has 5 million songs or something in their database. Sirius, I mean, you could put the entirety of everything that Sirius plays on a flash drive.
It was crazy. Like there's that Return of the Mac song which played on 90s on 9. I could count 10 songs and then it would be back. Like it got to the point where I was like, Charlie, I would be like flipping through, just trying to find, because he would always keep it on. Now, given the funny part is the antenna broke, and so he stopped, like his antenna physically broke Tim for it, and it so stopped working, so he stopped paying for it. But I was like, and he was just too lazy to get the antenna replaced. It wasn't worth it. But like that, I remember he would keep a lot on 90s on 9. And Return of the Mac would play at least every 10th song, and that's not even a joke. And I don't even like that song.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I played with it for the best part of the whole day because I thought, well, maybe this would be interesting. Maybe open my eyes to some different music, you know, the whole radio type idea. If you subscribe to it for the app, it's like $10 a month. In reality, it's the best part of nothing. And I thought, well, let's just see what this is like. And I was just like, there's maybe 2 channels on here that are vaguely listenable. It's like, I really don't get it. You have 500 channels and all of them have a playlist of 15 songs. Probably less than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with Tim on that. I will say I'm not sad that the antenna broke in Charlie's car because, and it was even more predictable. I mean, obviously, Tim knows we turn on 99.1 right now. We're probably going to get like Don't Stop Believing or something, right?
Yeah.
Fine. But like there was like at least a little bit more, you know, it would go Don't Stop Believing and then maybe John Bon Jovi and then I don't know, AC/DC, right, Tim? Like you get some variety, or then you're listening to Whitney Houston and then maybe some Elton John. But like the 90s on 9 and the 80s on 8, it was the same 10 songs from the 80s, the same 10 songs from the 90s. Like, no. I used to hate it, to be honest with you, Tim.
There you go. Well, I've actually opened it up. 80s on 8 is currently playing Beastie Boys' Fight for Your Right to Party.
Always.
70s on 7 is currently playing Billy Joel's My Life. 90s on 9 is currently playing Extreme's More Than Words.
Wow, we could have probably predicted that. And Extreme plays a lot on there. A lot. Anyway, So I've had personal experience with that. I'm not mad the antenna broke.
Yeah, I really don't understand the appeal. I do not understand the appeal.
Fair enough. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell the people today?
No, I just like to tell people don't bother paying $26.99 a month for the Sirius subscription for your car. Just get Spotify and all the streaming service of your choice and play that if you like listening to more than 10 songs.
I mean, I'm surprised it's gotten that expensive. Of course, I think Charlie always had like a discount or something. Or if you complain and call them, because I used to work for Sirius XM, they'll give you a discount. But don't do that either.
No, the full package is $26.99 or $9.99 if you only have the streaming piece. But yes, everybody says don't ever pay that. And when they call you asking whether you want to subscribe, just say that you didn't really like it, and they'll get you an offer of like $3 a month for a year.
It's called a win-back offer, and I used to have to sell those. So anyway, I used to do sales and tech support call center days. So with that being said, Tim's probably going to know at least one piece of music news. It was pretty much everywhere. Now, once again, everywhere. Like Tim said, we did spend a little bit of time away from recording because, you know, holidays, travels, family, so on and so forth. We did have done one episode since then. But this was everywhere. One of the members of the Grateful Dead passed away. It's Bob Weir. Weir. I always feel like I say that wrong. He passed away on January 10th. It is not January 10th that we're recording this, but I did find an interesting article about him, you know, rock and peace, as Tim would say. Apparently, he wanted a certain song played at his funeral. And so, you know, obviously, you know, there are known songs are like Truckin', Ripple, Touch of Grey. But in an interview with Dan Rather, he was the founding member. He said that the one song he would want played at his funeral was Cassidy. And I thought that was interesting. But that was a nice way. Now, whether, I don't know if they've had his funeral. It's not like they invited me or anything. I don't know if his funerals happen. Usually funerals happens within like 72 hours.
So this is something that in the United States, funerals and burials, cremations happen incredibly quickly.
Yes.
In the UK, it can be weeks and weeks and weeks after the fact.
Is it just due to... I wonder why.
I think it's just a cultural thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know if he has had his funeral yet. I hope he got his honor. But rock in peace. On January 10th, 2026, the musician passed away due to an underlying lung condition at the age of 78. I heard he had recently went through cancer, and they thought, he was kind of past that. But I think it wore him down based off what his family was saying, and then he was 78. So
yeah, he lived a good life. He was incredibly influential. Everybody loved him. So many musicians were posting tributes to him when we sadly lost him. So rock in peace to you, sir.
Now, this is on a completely random note. I'm mostly going to tell you guys this music news because I want to see Tim's reaction to it, and or it may annoy him, which, I enjoy annoying Tim if nobody's picked up on this. Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist Flea, your favorite person, has unveiled plans for his debut solo album.
See, as I've said before, people like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. People seem to really like Flea. I think he's incredibly overrated, and I do not like the music of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I really don't want to hear a solo album of his.
So, this made me laugh so hard. So, Flea released his first single last month, Tim. Guess what it's called?
I have no idea.
A Plea. Instead of Flea, it's A Plea.
Oh, crikey.
It will drop. He's going to drop a 10-track LP on March 27th. He's also confirmed live dates across North America, Europe, and the UK. My question is like, so it says Flea plays the bass and the trumpet on the record. He's enlisted an elite band of modern jazz visionaries to perform on the tracks alongside vocalists like Nick Cave and Radiohead's Tom York. I don't know. I'm like kind of trying to figure out like what's the makeup of this, because he is really just a bass player. Like, and who wants to just go hear a bass player? But it sounds like he also has 6 original compositions. The collections include interpretations from the likes of Frank Ocean, Jimmy Webb, George Clinton. It's great. I know who Frank Ocean is. I don't know do you know who Jimmy Webb is, Tim? Does that ring a bell?
It's a name that rings a bell, but I don't really know who it is.
Somebody's yelling at you in the background. Tim, you should know this. You know how our podcasts go. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that his debut song is called A Plea instead of Flea.
Flea, or as I like to call him, Michael Balzery.
He doesn't want everybody to know that. Anyway, so with that being said, if you're really into them, apparently it's coming. I mostly just said that to make people laugh. With that being said, if you enjoy it, enjoy it. Don't let me and Tim beat you down. They're just not, I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. There is a subgenre of people in my life or musicians in my world that it feels like everything I get from them, it's radio filler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. The Red Hot Chili Peppers is about 3 good songs, maybe 2 good songs, and the rest is filler.
Yeah. And it sounds weird, but like when you think about radio filler, that's what I get from them. I'm just saying. So
yeah,
anyway,
maybe there's a Sirius XM channel that just plays their album tracks. I don't know.
Exactly. Now, tonight's episode is going to be a little bit of a fun kind of back and forth between me and Tim. I do have the most requested version in the US and in the UK. But we've joked about, DJs really aren't DJs. They're mostly just playing music. We've joked about we kind of know what songs, and Tim specifically has pressed the play button, I think, a lot in his days of like, the girls dancing when I hear this song.
Absolutely.
So I got the most requested songs from DJs in parentheses, because, they're not actually out here scratching any record vinyl. At least I don't think. I've never seen Tim in front of a turntable. I could be wrong.
Only my own.
But I got the 200 most requested from the United States and the 200 most requested from the UK. So what I was going to do is I was going to put out an artist. I'll do the US version. I'll do the UK version, and let Tim guess what he thinks the song would be, and I'll tell you what it actually is.
Okay.
And if I feel like it's an artist you won't know, Tim, I'm just going to skip it. I'm not going to make you try to guess something you wouldn't know. Now, what I find very funny, so this was for 2024. I couldn't find anything past 2024 for an official. So keep that in perspective. I don't think it's changed very much based off of what I'm seeing on these lists. None of this is like crazy hard. So I find it weird in the USA. This is the number one most requested artist. Her name is Whitney Houston. If you were DJing, Tim, what number one hit from Whitney Houston do you think they would pick?
I Want to Dance with Somebody.
He's correct!
Yay!
Yay! All right. Which makes sense because a lot of times people are drunk and they want to dance.
And plus, it's up tempo. It's a great song.
It's my favorite Whitney Houston song. It is. And the Glee version is also amazing, in case anybody was wondering. Not that anyone ever asked. Now, this surprises me. And I don't know, Tim, if you don't know, you could just say you don't know. But it surprises me. This is the number one for UK. And this was like people were like, actual DJs voted in on this. It's The Killers.
Is it Somebody Told Me?
No. It's Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, Mr. Brightside.
Is that really that popular in the UK?
Yeah, it is, because the Killers, Mr. Brightside, it is a covers band staple. So I can understand why it would be requested to a DJ, because it was very, very popular.
I love the coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. I love the song, but have you ever played it? It's weird from an American perspective that's what they're asking DJs to play.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it before. But no, it honestly doesn't surprise me. It was incredibly huge when it came out, and I'm sure it still lingers in cover band sets to this day.
So that's from the Hot Fuzz album, because I joke about, back in the day, Fuse was like, I was kind of in the alternative rock, Tim, and this phase of The Killers is what I love, The Killers. But it's just interesting, and I know Tim will give you guys a little bit more knowledge. Just a lot of times in Southwest Virginia, when you are in a cover band and you're doing this, you play a lot of like Southern rock, 90s, 80s, Journey, that kind of thing. So in America, it's weird. But I will say, in America, it's still the third. The Killers, Mr. Brightside was still number 3.
Yep.
Weird. I would have never, that surprised me. No, we have 200 songs here, so we have plenty to go through. So we don't have to be. Now, what's super interesting is number 2 for the US and the UK is the same.
Oh, okay.
And it's an artist you're very familiar with, and I think you're going to instantly guess what this song is. It's ABBA.
And it's probably going to be Dancing Queen.
It absolutely is. Is that really requested that much?
Oh, I've been to many events. When I used to work at Nationwide Building Society, which is like a credit union, we used to go to many dinner dance type affairs with discos thrown in and alcohol and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
And I can distinctly remember many occasions when people would request Dancing Queen.
See, I would literally rather hear any other song than Dancing Queen from ABBA. Literally any other song. I would rather hear Take a Chance on Me. Now, if I'm wanting to like dance and have like a good Friday, you know what I'm going to go with, Tim? Voulez-vous.
Voulez-vous.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Really? Every time? Every time. Somebody's going to have to put that in a bingo card. Every time Tim says, aha, someone's going to get alcohol poisoning. But anyway, with that being said, I feel like, because, that is a disco track of like the ultimate, but I feel like Voulez-vous would be my default before I would pick. I just don't ever want to hear Dancing Queen again.
No, I mean, when it comes to the realm of ABBA, it's Swedish power pop. You really cannot go wrong with that. And there's so many great songs. But yes, I don't know if I want to hear Dancing Queen. I'd probably want to hear Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man After Midnight.
That was my next one. I was thinking, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man. Like that one. Or even like, I will say, and maybe this is controversial, we've talked a lot about our favorite ABBA songs on this podcast. We've had a whole ABBA. I still stand by Money, Money, Money might be my favorite ABBA song.
Yeah. It must be funny in a rich man's world. And
it's followed by, Tim, we missed an opportunity. Super Trooper would be a great one at a DJ.
Yeah, Super Trooper, the most famous song about a big light.
It's so weird to me because I love the intro when they're doing super, like the harmony on that is so perfect.
Hmm.
Anyway, all right. I mean, we could be here all week, knowing me, knowing you, SOS. I just don't ever want to hear Dancing Queen. I just don't. All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, if you want to hear it, listen to it. Don't let me judge you. It's just crazy to me that there's so many great Actually, it's not crazy to me. There's just really good, a lot of great ABBA songs. Okay, so we're not going to talk about number three for the US or for the UK because they kind of fall hand in hand. I already said number three for the US was The Killers' Mr. Brightside. And weirdly enough, number three for the UK was Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
There we go.
So, number four for the US was Earth, Wind, and Fire. What song do you think it is, Tim?
September?
Absolutely. It absolutely is. We're taking it. Tim's gone every single one right, guys. Check. Now and this is funny to me because I would have thought this was higher on the US and the UK. I don't know why this is funny to me, but number four is Neil Diamond, and I think you already know where this is going.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Another song I could deal with never hearing again.
Yeah, again, that's just got such cultural cachet in the UK. It really has.
Really? 'Cause I always thought that was like an American phenomenon, but apparently not.
No, it was probably on a commercial or something at some point.
Well, in America, it became famous because, I don't know, one of those sports ball people, Boston Red Sox or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. They started that. I personally would much rather hear Cracklin' Rosie.
Yeah, Crackling Rose is good, or even Love on the Rocks. Ain't no surprise.
I mean, or Solitary Man, or Socks Sung Blue, or Forever in Blue Jeans is a great one, too.
Oh, there's so many in the realm of Neil Diamond. There's so many to choose from.
Just funny because, and honestly, yeah, I could live my whole life without hearing Sweet Caroline ever again.
But it's got the bit that's not on the record that goes bum bum bum.
Yeah, I've heard it, Tim.
And the other bit they go so good, so good, so good.
I mean, I'm not. I think that at 3 a.m. when you've had a few drinks, that is a very fun thing to do. You want to know one of the funniest experiences I had with those situations where the crowd knows it, everybody's excited. So there is a local bar, pub, wherever you're at, whatever you want to call it. We didn't have public houses in America because we're not old enough to have them. But I know in the UK, that's why you call them pubs. So with that being said, there's a bar area. It's called Top of the Stairs. I'm sure Tim's very familiar with it. We call it Tots for short. It is if you're going to dance and you're going to go listen to a DJ and maybe not a local band, that's where you would go. Yeah. So in my heyday, when I was young and didn't go to bed at 9:30, yeah. I would go there. And one time we were there, it was late. And in Virginia at 2 a.m., they stopped serving you. I think in the UK, you're barely getting started at 2 a.m.
Well, as I said to you, it used to be pubs were open from 11 to 11. And then some of them had an extension till 12. But I think it's loosened up a little bit now.
I don't know. I feel like every time I've spoken to someone in the UK and they've been drinking, they started drinking when I'm going to sleep. Yeah. So with that being said, we were there quite late, much later than I have been normally. And out of nowhere, the national anthem starts playing. And in America, we've talked ad nauseum that they play the national anthem in weird times, right?
Yeah.
And so I was shocked that the national anthem started playing at this bar at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever time. And everybody just starts singing it in the bar like that was completely normal. And I'm sitting there going, what is happening right now? And apparently that's something they do on Saturday nights at 1:30, 2 a.m., whatever time this was before they cut us off. They play the national anthem, and everybody in that bar but me knew it. And I'm sitting there, me and Molly, my friend who's been on we're looking at each other, and she's like, what is happening? And I'm like, are we being enlisted in the military? I don't know. And that's the most American thing, is it not, Tim?
Yeah. As I said, I recently went to a rodeo.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, you did.
And at that rodeo, as per a lot of these events, monster trucks, wrestling, various other things that I've been to, local events like that, they stop everything and they find out who all the military is in the audience, and then you clap or you cheer for them, and then of course then you have your national anthem.
What's the national anthem of England? I don't think I've ever even heard it.
God Save the Queen, or suppose God
Oh,
Save the King now.
okay. Yeah, I have heard it. Okay.
But they don't play it as much as they do here. They used to, years ago. TV would only run from like lunchtime to midnight, or lunchtime to
Yeah. And then you
12:30.
get that colored screen, right?
Yeah, then you get a test card. But before it did that on BBC, they used to play the national anthem before they closed the
They did that
broadcast
in
for the
America
day.
too. And it was like 10 p.m. Like when my mom was a kid, like at 10 p.m., they'd play the national anthem and then you get the test color screen and everything was done. But now that you said it, I mean, I've heard that obviously. I don't think it ever registered me was the national anthem. But I sent Tim, this comedian, because we've talked about just like hilariously how the national anthem is used in America versus other places. And of course, Tim has some kind of funny reference points because he understands both sides. And it was this comedian, he was talking about America's national anthem has like the world's worst pass fail rate for singers. Like most people's like, do you remember when I said it to you, Tim? They're like other countries' national anthems. Oh, Canada is not that hard, but in America, like we have like, and they just expect every John, Susan, and Tracy and every American. It's just like we have like the hardest
Yeah,
just to sing.
Yeah, and the problem is that you get people singing it who want to oversing it, and it sounds bad.
It's so bad. And it's not a song that you need to elaborate, add ad libs to. There's no need for runs, right, Tim? Just sing the song. It's just the national anthem. It's not hard. We don't have to get back on Fergie. We won't go there again. It's just funny because I'll have to find, that comedian was hilarious, but she was like, why is our national anthem so much harder than every other country's national anthem? I was like, it's America. We like to do things hard. Anyway, all right, back to the actual episode at hand. Like I said, I think my exact words when we were talking about to Tim, I was like, me complaining to you for 20 minutes before we record. And then I said something about music podcast, sort of. That was my descriptor, right, Tim? All right. So number 5. I don't know if Tim would know this. I definitely know this song. Maybe, but I'm not going to test you on it too far because it's not an artist I think you're super familiar with. It's Usher. Can you name an Usher song, Tim?
No, I just remember Usher when he worked in the cinema.
Haha, great joke. Da, 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 da.
But no, I wouldn't even know what Usher looked like if he walked in. I assume it's a he walked in this room right now.
Yes, the song's yeah, but anyway.
I have
Now,
no idea.
Sophia Ellis Bextor, how do you say her name?
So Sophie Ellis Bextor, she's great.
Now, I love this song, but do you know what song it is, Tim?
Murder on the Dance Floor.
Absolutely. It's a murder on the dance floor, and you better not kill the groove, DJ. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Sophie Ellis Bextor is absolutely fantastic. She is the daughter of Janet Ellis. Janet Ellis used to be on a British TV kids show called Blue Peter.
And I only know that because Tim's told me that. But that song's great. And it's being it's gotten a resurgence because for some reason it's popular on like the TikToks and stuff now, people using it. But like, it's such a good song.
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She's very interesting. And over the lockdown, she was doing kitchen discos where she was like singing all kinds of songs in her kitchen.
I love it.
And she'd do it live, wherever she was, YouTube or Instagram or wherever it was. And then, like, she's got a few young kids, and they'd all be like climbing over her and wanting stuff while she's singing like a prayer. It was absolutely fantastic. And then she's been very lucky that off the back of that, it really has boosted her career big time. I mean, she already was a name before that. And in fact, if you know that song Groove Jet by Spiller, that was the first thing that she ever appeared on. She sings the vocal on that.
Didn't know that. Like, I can see her. I know what she looks like. And that song's fantastic, though. I listen to that song regularly. I will say, I think that it had a delayed, like, in America, I don't think it was as popular initially. Like, it feels like now it's becoming more and more popular than it was when it first came out. But really good song, so I'm not surprised. All right, now we're not going to talk about number 5 because our number 6 in America, as we've already talked about, Neil Diamond's "Sweet Caroline" got number 6 in the U.S. Now, number 6 in the UK will not surprise Tim. Now, this is the version of this song I don't care for. There's more than one version, but I think this version was more popular in the UK than it ever was in the US. This is Toploader. Do you know what song it is?
Dancing in the Moonlight.
Yeah, I don't care for their version, to be honest with you.
Which is a cover. That, again, when that came out, that was big.
Yeah. It wasn't in America, though, because when we think of Dancing in the Moonlight, we go with, who's the original, Tim? King Harvest, right?
Yeah.
Was that the original?
It sounds about right.
What is the other version? Is the one that I know. Toploader, I think I only learned because of you, Tim. Did they have any other songs?
I don't think they did. I think it was a one and done for Toploader. I mean, that song was huge and everywhere when it came out. It was early 2000s. I remember being in Moroccan Soul in the early 2000s and spinning that on my wheels of steel.
Just as always. All right, now Tim's not gonna know this, maybe, but I don't think you. I know you know the band, but I don't know if you'll know this song. You might. Flow Rida, Tim, which means Florida.
I know Flow Rida. Low.
That's the song. That was number 7 because we've joked about. I remember the first time I was like, we were talking about it, I was like, somebody was asking me about it. They're like, Flow Rida. I was like, it's just Florida.
He also did a version of Right Round.
Yes, and I love their. So I am a Flow Rida fan because right when they were really popular was when I was kind of younger, and Low was one of my favorites. It really was.
Boots with the fur. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. It's very popularly being you know what I mean, from a DJ. It's a good song to dance to. It is. Now, number 7. We'll see if Tim knows this. I feel like you do. Maybe. Weirdly enough, this is number 8 in the U.S. It's Walk the Moon. Do you know this band, Tim?
No, never heard of it.
Have you ever heard Shut Up and Dance With Me, that song? This girl is a destiny. You said, ooh. All right, that's a song.
Nope.
It's everywhere for like 5 minutes. All right, well, with that being said, number 9 in the U.S. is an artist you've heard of, but I don't know if you'll know the song. It's Taylor Swift. And it's Love Story. Have you ever heard that one, Tim?
I've heard the sum total now of 3 or 4 Taylor Swift songs.
That's what I figure you're going. Now, I will say number 8 in the UK, you will know. It's Bon Jovi, and I'll give you one guess on what song it is.
Oh, it's living on a prayer.
Yeah, you're halfway there. Anyway.
Yeah. Again, all of these ones are like drunk people sing-along songs, so it doesn't surprise me.
I know. I mostly just did this to test his skills of what he's learned in all these times dealing with drunk people when he has to press the play button. Oh, it's fun though. Oh, God. I have to say it. I don't want it, Tim. You probably know what's coming. It's
Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine.
No.
It would be Lynyrd Skynyrd.
No.
Sweet Home Alabama. No.
Journey.
Don't Stop Believing.
I stopped believing a long time ago, Journey.
Oh. They're playing the Roanoke Civic Center reasonably soon, which is a big-ish venue that's near to us. And that venue very rarely ever gets good bands. And they have Journey on this tour. And I think this is one of the final tours that Journey's going to do, certainly with this lineup. And you know they're going to play that as an encore number, and then the place is just going to erupt. It was like when I was at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg and they played Enter Sandman. It's going to be the same atmosphere.
See, and I'm just, first of all, I will say, as a karaoke staple, I could sing this song amazingly. Like the back of my hand, you could say the first lyric, Tim, and I can sing it from beginning to end, know every note, know it by heart. I'm not saying I don't know it. I'm saying I don't want to hear it again. And what's funny is when we were leaving the Elton John concert that I went to a few years back with my mom and my sister, we came out. And you know, when you're coming out of like one of those big arena kind of things that everybody's being pushed out the same exit.
Yep.
There was some people that were trying to sell people merchandise and stuff like that. And then there was people who had band instruments. And they were playing band music. Like there was like a tuba and a drummer and stuff like that, just trying to get your attention. Guess what they were playing? And guess what everybody was singing?
Whoa! Living on a prayer.
I was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, and I mean, people were feeling it. Of course, a lot of people probably have been drinking and they were hyped because they just, you know, concert hype makes people really hyped, especially if you're seeing something like Elton John, right? People are hyped. They love that. But I was just like, we're coming out. We're all being ushered out. There's like 4,000 of us trying to get out of this one little tiny area, and I got a tuba player singing "Don't Stop Believing" right beside me for the next 3 hours. And I swear, they played the song at least 3, because you know how everybody moves so slowly trying to get out of those little exits? I was like, I'm pretty sure that little orchestra band trying to get I think they were hired by the guy selling stuff to get our attention, was like, I mean, right beside my ear for like an hour trying to get out of this little thing, and it's just "Don't Stop Believing" on repeat. And then everybody starts singing it, and I'm like, oh, get me out of here.
It's too much.
It's too much. And I was like, do you know, like, why wouldn't you play an Elton John song? We're leaving an Elton John concert. Why is it? I mean, who doesn't know one basic Elton John song, right, Tim?
I mean, you could bet Benny and the Jets on brass would be fantastic. It'd be great.
And it was a straight tuba player beside me, like as loud as he possibly could. I still remember. And then my mother, bless her heart. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this. She's one of the ones singing. I was like, I mean, at least she's having fun, right?
There we go.
And I am guilty of this, Tim. If we get an Uber or we get a Lyft back, because, you know, when you get so many people, it's sometimes just easier to get an Uber, Lyft, cab, whatever you want. Yeah. I will walk super far away, way far away from the venue to order the Uber or the Lyft, as far as I can get. Because one, you just want to get away from everybody so your Uber or Lyft can physically get to you. But two, if people don't know this, it's going to cost you a lot more money if you send them to the venue because they have that surge pricing.
Yeah.
So we kept walking and kept walking and kept walking and got down to a bar before we finally ordered our Uber or Lyft. Yeah. So I heard it for a while. I do that every time. I'm like, especially if you're like with a bunch of people, so it's safe to walk for farther distances. I'll just keep walking till I find like a gas station or something and call my Uber or Lyft there.
Not a bad idea.
That's my piece of advice, because I don't know. Have you ever seen that surge pricing, Tim? Now, Charlie, if I'm with my husband, he's not calling Uber or Lyft. He's driving home. He's bringing his car. Charlie will not pay Uber or Lyft money. I told Tim one time when he was in Denver, he walked for like 3 miles at 12 a.m. to avoid an Uber Lyft charge from the hotel because he missed the transit from the airport. Charlie is not about the Uber Lyft life, Tim. He's just not.
I've only ever used Uber once.
I've used it not a lot. Like I could probably maybe 10 times total, but there are scenarios where it's useful. There just are. And so, but yeah, I will say if you're in Blacksburg anytime and you want to call an Uber, make sure it's not a home football game night or you're going to be stuck on Main Street for 3 hours because the Uber driver doesn't live in Blacksburg and doesn't know you can just go right or left, Tim, and go down the same roads. Just saying. All right. Anyway, so with that being said, please, if you're a tuba player and you're standing outside of the concert venue in South Carolina, learn another song.
That's a PSA from Joy.
I mean, who wants to hear "Don't Stop Believing" on a tuba to begin with? It's not a tuba song. Anyway, all right. With them. And then there was a trumpet player who was playing along with him, and there was a drummer and people screaming "Don't Stop Believing."
Of course.
For like 2 hours while I was trying to walk to get to my Uber. All right. Number 11 in the U.S. Tim might know this, maybe, because I'm going to be honest with you, I think this would probably be one of two of the only songs you'll know from this person. Miley Cyrus. What song do you think people are asking for?
Party in the USA.
Yeah, it's Party in the
Yay!
USA. Which I will say I do like. And weirdly enough, speaking of vehicles you can take from point B to point B to point A to point B, whatever you want to call it. Do you know what a hoopty ride in Blacksburg was back in the day, Tim? The big buses, they had the Scooby-Doo one and stuff.
Yeah, because on wherever it is, South Main, where I go to my dry cleaners, where I turn left for the dry cleaners, they used the hoopty ride place used to be on the right hand side, and they had like party buses and stuff like that you could rent.
So because I'm getting historic now, pre-Uber and Lyft taking off, there was a thing, they were like party buses, and it was only like each person who went, they paid like $2-3, right, Tim? And then everybody would pay their $2-3. So you pay like $6 to bring you from point A to point B. Blacksburg's not that big. Tim can tell you. You can get between A and B in like 7 minutes. But let's say you're young, you don't want to be driving because, safety first, and it's the middle of the night. Maybe you've had a few drinks at that Tots place I was talking. We used to take the hoopty. And there's a version of, and I am a lover of all things mashup. Tim knows this. Joy loves mashup. Mm-hmm. She's just sent him like 3 mashups the other day. There's a version of Party in the USA with like Biggie Smalls, like the rapper. And the first time I heard it, it's one of my favorite ones. If you haven't, just give it a go, guys. Was in one of those hoopties. I don't know who the driver was, but he had it blasted, and it was Party in the USA mixed with that. And I still remember that 1 a.m. So here's where this story gets funny, though. So it was me and a couple of friends. This guy's name was Stephen Howard Johnson. I don't know. He had like 5 first names for his names. Now, we used to call him Stephen Jesus because he had like Bible verses. He had a little Jesus on the dashboard. We used to call him Stephen Howard Jesus, like me and my friends, because we would always get him as our hoopty driver. And he would be telling us Bible verses, but he'd be like blaring Party in the USA mixed with like Biggie Smalls. And when I say, and I'm pretty sure like Stephen Howard Jesus, I don't remember. That's what we called him. Don't know whatever happened to him when Hoopty went out of business. And sadly, he didn't drive the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine Hoopty. He had the purple one with the shag carpet on the inside. And like, for those who like, it was like a literal like bus. Like Tim's like, it's like a small kind of bus van situation, so they'd be huge. But yeah, he kept a little Jesus on the dashboard, Tim, and we call him Stephen Howard Jesus, and we got him multiple times. He'd get you from point A to point B very, very well. Stephen Howard Jesus was doing his calling, but he had like Bible verses in the hoopty. And it's just funny because he'd be playing like the most gangster rap song you've ever heard while you're being told about Jesus. Sing your hoopty ride at 3 a.m. I haven't thought of him in a long time, but every time I think of Party in the USA, that's what I think of. Stephen Howard Jesus. I wonder where he's at now.
He's probably around. Maybe he's driving an Uber or a Lyft, spreading the word or something. I don't know. But
me and Jennifer and Molly would always, because that's who I'd always go out with. He like had a little Jesus on the dashboard. There was Bible verses. He'd say, God bless you when you came in and out. His name is Stephen Howard something. I think it was Justin, but we called him Stephen Howard Jesus. Because we would always get him. Every time we call a hoopty, he'd be the one we get. And back in the day when you could get a hoopty, they were cheap, Tim. They're like $3 versus, $10 just for one Uber lift. So.
Yeah, as I said, I always remember the place, but it's something I remember when I first moved here, and then of course it's gone now, and I'd never really thought of that.
I always wanted to get the Mystery Machine. So the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine was one of them, right, Tim? At that little hotel-looking thing or whatever that's in the orange and maroon. Yeah. I don't know if the Mystery Machine actually worked, though, or if they just kept it there for a picture to make people buy to get a hoopty. But we never got the Mystery Machine.
I don't know. I would imagine it probably would.
I don't know. But Stephen Howard Jesus didn't drive the Mystery Machine. And when you're in the back of them, Tim does it. I don't think Tim ever rode in one. They would have like shag carpets, and they'd be huge, and there'd be like lights flashing. Like it really was a party bus. The hoopty rides were like a party bus. Now, given most of the time it was like 2 a.m. when I had to take them home, and I didn't really like the flashing lights at that point.
No, you don't really want that.
But that's what they were. Good old hoopty ride. All right. I wonder whatever happened to Stephen Howard Jesus. All right, back to the other thing. So number 10 from the UK, we just talked about Journey. Well, we talked about Journey, and then we talked about Miley Cyrus. I skipped number 10 from the UK because it was Earth, Wind, and Fire September. We already talked about that. Now, number 11 is an artist we haven't spoke of from the UK. It's surprising to me. So number 11 in the UK is number 12 in the US. It's Shania Twain. What song do you think it is?
Let's go, girls. Bam, bam, bam,
yeah, it's Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Yeah, of course.
Which is once again interesting to me because that's like the last song I want to hear from Shania Twain.
Well, she's totally crazy.
It is fun though. It's all just fun drunk music, to be honest.
Exactly. Man shirts, short skirts. I mean, it's all going on with Shania.
I mean, and me and Tim are Shania Twain lovers. If you guys haven't already got that,
sure.
We will always be Team Shania. But I personally am any man of mine. Whose bed have your boots been under? That The Woman in Me album is like my Shania Twain. You know, that's what I look for. Don't Be Stupid's a good one too, of course. But that's what I look for. Now, I will say, I don't care for the, the Come On Over album is where you get Man, I Feel Like a Woman. But I could go without hearing, like, You're Still the One Again. I'm good without that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good stuff. Like we've said before, you have the Shania Twain and Mutt Lange, and then you bring them together, and what do you get? You get female-fronted pop Def Leppard.
It's so good, though. And it's funny because until this podcast, we started recording it. Like, I kind of knew who Mutt Lange was. I knew Shania married him. I didn't know to what extent he really affected music. Now I can hear a track and go, oh, there he is. Like, without even, like it's just like his voice is so iconic and his harmonies sit so perfectly and he has that distinct sound that like I can hear like turns. I was like, oh, there he is. I hear it. There he is. You don't have to tell me. I'll be like, there's Mutt Lange, and I'll go Google it. Like, yep, there he is.
Yeah, it's the way he does backing vocals. It's very distinctive and it works so brilliantly.
Music genius right there. How much is Mutt Lange worth? I'm just curious. Mutt Lange.
John Robert Mutt Lange.
Net worth. Let's see. 225 million.
There we go.
He's definitely not pushing his own equipment, Tim, anywhere else that he goes. Probably not.
No. And much like Sting, he could do any kind of renovation on his house that he wanted to.
He wouldn't even think it. And so for perspective, because I was just looking up his network, I clicked in his thing. If you have not picked up on this, we talked about Def Leppard, of course. We know that. This is the list of artists. AC/DC, Def Leppard, the Michael Stanley Band, Boomtown Rats, Foreigner, Outlaws, Michael Bolton, Heart, Cars, Bryan Adams, Huey Lewis and the News, Billy Ocean, not Ocean, Celine Dion, Britney Spears, The Course, Maroon 5, Lady Gaga, Now United, Nickelback, and Muse.
There we are. He's quite the man.
Yeah. It's just interesting because he doesn't look anything like you think he would look like. I don't know what I imagine someone named Mutt Lange would look like, but that's not him. Just blonde, curly hair.
And plus, he never, ever gives interviews.
No, I don't even think I've ever heard him speak. Maybe if I have, it's very small. But if I hear him on a song, I almost instantly, I'm like, oh, there he is. And it's almost like he's not, I don't know that he'd be a great front person for an artist, but he's perfect for backing vocals. He does it beautifully. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, all right. This is not a fangirl Mutt Lange podcast, but just funny. All right. So where did we leave off? So that was number 12 for the US. It was number 11 for the UK, which I find interesting. It was higher up on the UK than the US because, like, Man, I Feel Like a Woman is everywhere in the US. Now, number 12 in the UK is one Tim's definitely going to guess, probably because they really only ever had one song. Dixie's Midnight Runner song, Tim.
Well, they had many songs, but it will be Come On Eileen.
Well, in America, we only know them for one song.
How about Jackie Wilson Said? That's a great song.
Oh, yeah, but they're generally viewed as one-hit wonders here.
Yeah, in the United States, all you're going to get is Come On Eileen.
Which is a great song. And they're got their little dungaroos and he's wearing overalls, as we would call it. It's a great song though, but it is definitely the only song most people here know from them. Where are they originally from?
They're from England.
I mean, oh, okay. I wasn't sure if they're from the UK. Like, I wasn't sure if they're from England or like Scottish, Ireland. Never really knew. Now, I do think it's, the Tula Roulette or whatever is the name of that album too. I always thought that was kind of funny because I was Googling it one day and I was like, oh, that's also the name of the album. Also, does anyone really know what that song was ever truly about? Debatable.
I don't know.
There's a lot of weird lyrics in that entire song.
Yeah, I like the Tu Rye. I don't know what that means, but I said that's even what their album was called.
Yeah. I mean, she had that. I mean, Eileen had that pretty little dress as well. We'll ever know. I feel like the two right just rhymed, so they went with it. I could be wrong. All right. Well, Tim, let me know when we're getting close because we got plenty of songs, but I know we've been recorded for a while. And
okay, we've probably got time for a couple more.
All right. So number 13 in the US, I think you'll know that maybe we'll skip it if you don't, but you could because you press play on a few tracks, so you do know some of your pop hits and R&B hits. The Black Eyed Peas, Tim. Do you know anything about the Black Eyed Peas?
Boom, boom, pow. It's a boom, boom, pow.
Not that one, though. It's the I Got a Feeling.
I Got a Feeling, yeah. I knew it was going to be that one. I do like Boom, boom, pow, though. I will tell you, I enjoy that song.
I mean, I don't mind the Black Eyed Peas. I don't ever search them out, but I find them fun. All right, so Tim will know this one in the UK, though. Bryan Adams. What song do you think it is?
It would be The Summer of '69.
Yep, and as we said, he said, if you ever wondered if there's an innuendo in that song, he says there is. It is very literal. Don't overthink it, everyone. Those were the best days
of our lives.
I mean, it is a great song. I find it interesting that it's that highly requested in the UK, though.
Yeah, again, like every cover band would play that. It doesn't surprise me that it would be requested to a DJ.
Fair enough. All right. I don't know if Tim will know this. I'm going to laugh if he does, though. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Do you know the song?
I don't know who that is.
It's the get low, 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 low. Nothing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, number 14 would make Charlie happy in the UK. Maybe my husband's from the UK. You didn't know it. It's Wheatus. They only really had one song, Tim. Wheatus.
It wouldn't be their cover of Respect. It would be Teenager Dirtbag.
Yes. I love there was like a trend that was going around where people were sharing their teenage dirtbag photos, Tim. Mm-hmm. And there was a subgenre of people around my age that were like, I can't share my teenage dirtbag photos because they're all still on MySpace and none of us can get them back.
Do you know what? One thing like MySpace, it still exists, and I think it's still like in the top 20 websites visited. I really don't know what that's for now.
For a while, it was something to do with music, but I don't know. Apparently, you can link it to your Facebook or Twitter now.
I'm just looking up.
When I clicked it, it says this app is not available, so maybe not. I don't know what it is for.
Yeah, I'm looking at a thing 11 months ago. What is MySpace doing in 2025? Are people still using it?
Apparently they lost everybody's data in 2019 because of a migration. If I try to get to my old one, all my photos just have an X on them. You know what I mean, Tim? So I can't see anything.
I was just trying to see how interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is something that warrants research. I don't know.
Like my profile's there, but like it's like literally just like all broken links.
One thing that has persevered from MySpace is that back in the MySpace days, if you accepted somebody onto your MySpace page, you would thank them for the ad. And every now and again, you see on Instagram or other networks like that, people say, thank you for the ad. And it's like, this is not MySpace anymore.
That's kind of funny. I hadn't really thought about that. No, what I find interesting about MySpace was Do you remember like when it's like you had like the blog and you could like write different things and there was like all those different quizzes and things you can do. And like, it'd be like, give us what you ate for breakfast this morning and what do you do when blah, blah, blah happens. And now I guess my frontal cortex, whatever that is formed, and I'm a full-fledged adult, I realize how dumb those are because they're asking you for every bit of information that you could give them. That's probably a security question. Like, where did you go to school at? And what's your favorite food?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm mentioning this just because this is context. The politics of this is we won't go into. But when Sarah Palin was running for vice president, her Yahoo account got hacked. And the reason it got hacked is because her security questions were like, well, what's your mother's maiden name? And then what's the name of your first pet? And all that stuff was so easily Googleable, someone hacked it.
Yeah, and like back in the day, like, do you remember those quizzes, Tim? They would like give you and everybody would share them, and then they'd be like, reshare it. What's your MySpace or what's your McDonald's order, and what was the elementary school you went to? And I've seen people now call it out in IT, and they're like, don't do that. And as a full-fledged adult, no, I realized it really was a way of kind of like data hacking, I guess, for a better way of saying it. And that was super popular when I was younger on MySpace, and we would all just do it like. 15-year-old me is like, oh, sure, here's my mother's maiden name, and here's where I grew up. But yeah, no, for real. And now it's like, I know better. Like, I realize what it is. The other one that I swear is a gold mine for hackers to get into things is LinkedIn. I stand by this.
I had a LinkedIn account when I first moved here and I was looking for work because I was just trying to put myself out there. It was completely pointless. And then as soon as I got a job, I closed that thing down.
Well, I had it in my previous role because I hire people, right, Tim? And so I was using it to find candidates. Now I have it, but it doesn't have near as much information. I made it very vague. But for perspective, I was in a field where like I would get different requests from employees and stuff. And I would notice when I would hire someone, they would start getting requests for them almost instantly. And if I looked them up on LinkedIn, guess where I found them, Tim? They had just updated their profile saying they worked for ABZ company on LinkedIn. And it only took someone like 30 seconds. And what they would do is, it's not hard to figure out nomenclatures for emails, Tim. A lot of them your first name or your last name or first initial, last, like, and then they would take it. And I was like, and that's when I realized LinkedIn is a hotbed for people to try to, I guess, what's the word, Tim? Fish?
Yeah, phishing.
Yeah. So that's my PSA. If you're worried about that, change your information on LinkedIn. All right, back to the music.
Well, I think we've got just do one more quickly because we're about to wrap things up.
All right. Well, I don't know that Tim would know these artists. I'm just going to rat them out real quick. So number 15 in the US is Chris Brown Forever. And I don't even know what that is.
Nope.
Number 15 in the UK is the Arctic Monkeys. I bet you look good on the dance floor.
You look good on the dance floor. Yeah, I know that one.
All right. Number 16 is the Cupid Shuffle in America, of course.
Well, of course.
And in the UK, it's Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire.
Yep, played that in bands many times.
I'll leave it at this. Number 17 was Outkast, Hey Ya. And then number 17 in the UK was Creedence Clearwater Revival, a.k.a. or the Tina Turner version, apparently. And what's the song, Tim?
Bad Moon Rising.
Proud Mary.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, all right. So, Tim, I think you got at least 98%
I think
quiz.
so, just about.
All right, what would you like to leave the people with?
I'd like to tell everybody I have a new dressing gown, the NPR dressing gown. Bit the dust because they decided to split at the back, and I now have a new one I got for Christmas, and it says night on it. It
does. It looks very fancy.
Yeah, so it's very warm in this winter, and also be kind to everyone that you meet.
And it's freezing where me and Tim live right now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.